Listen, guys, these things are not coming from outer space. I have no idea what Neil deGrasse Tyson actually has to say, kind of about this, but we're here for every aspect of it. We're definitely going to check this out because it's Neil deGrasse Tyson exclusively. But again, what should he? I don't know, guys. Let's just do this. This is a suggestion via Discord, guys.
Today, lawmakers got a private security briefing on this ongoing mystery of the unexplained drones that we have seen flying in the skies over New Jersey. U.S. intelligence and security officials are telling lawmakers that these flying objects that keep getting reported, like this one seen flying over a football field in Oakland, New Jersey, have no suspected ties to foreign adversaries.
Okay.
Lawmakers were also told that many of the recently reported sightings are believed to have been civilian aircraft that were mistaken for drones. But New Jersey leaders and the political leaders there say that they're still not getting answers on where exactly these objects are coming from or who is controlling them or where they're going.
And guys, I literally said this. I was like, listen, the fact that this is now making the news, people just basically flying drones, a lot of people have drones now, nowadays at least. So I'm going to go ahead and forecast that people are now like, you know what? I'm just going to mess with people. I'm thinking most likely that's what's happening now. Maybe at first it wasn't like that, or maybe it was like a drone flying club. Those do exist, right? Maybe something like that. But the problem here is that we've seen a couple of very intriguing images that were obviously not drones. These were definitely UAVs. Okay, they had to be launched from somewhere. Generally, civilians don't fly UAVs, okay, because we just don't have the infrastructure to kind of support that platform, let's say. But we do definitely fly drones. But let's continue.
People got enough on their minds, right? They shouldn't have to worry about things flying around that they don't know who they belong to.
Until you know the origin and what these drones' intent is, how can you tell me that there's no imminent threat?
What are these drones doing in New Jersey? I can tell you what they're not doing. Okay. If they're Martians, I guarantee you they're not staying because the taxes are way too high.
I'll give you that.
My source tonight is the famed astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, who has a new book, Merlin's Tour of the Universe, that is in stores now. It is great to have you. I mean, hearing those lawmakers there, I thought one of them raised a good point. If you don't know what it is, how can you tell us what it's not? I mean, what is your take on what we've been seeing pop up over New Jersey?
First, I agree with the sentiment that if people cannot identify what they are, you're in no position to say whether they're or are not a threat. So I don't get what it means when they say, oh, don't worry about it. We don't know what it is, but don't worry about it. But I can tell you this, if I can't claim to know the motives of aliens, but just being an earthling,
right?
But of all the places to show up on Earth,
New Jersey, the armpit.
New Jersey?
And guys, I am an avid New Jersey hater. If you guys have followed me long enough, you guys know, all right? I apologize. No. Matter of fact, I don't apologize. I'm sorry, guys. I am unapologetically a New Jersey hater. By definition, by default. I'm from New York, okay? Maybe it's like a proximity thing, potentially, but of all places, all right, why would you go to the armpit of the United States of America, guys? All right? Have you smelt the air of Jersey, guys? Aliens don't want to go there.
Of all the places to show up on Earth, they pick New Jersey? That'd be odd for me to wonder what the aliens are looking for. No offense to New Jersey. I'm just saying, this is the whole Earth they could have visited. So yeah, it's a mystery. And by the way, drones are more available to people than ever before. So maybe this is just the new normal. And Jersey's getting the first taste of it.
Okay.
But I'm a little disappointed that given that we have a nearly $1 trillion budget for the Pentagon, that nobody knows what these things are. Now I'm worried about national security.
Guys, really quickly, the issue here is that every single drone that flies has, for the most part, a remote ID, specifically if it was purchased from a store, right? Of any sorts, guys. If you built it yourself, you may not have a remote ID, right? You may not have to have one, I guess, right? Unless you specifically put it inside of there. And you want to, actually register your drone to make it legal, let's say, okay? There are currently 800,000 drones registered in the United States of America. That's spread out all between the United States of America. There are people flying drones everywhere you go. A lot of people have multiple. I have I have about 20 drones, guys. And so the point I'm trying to make here is that the drones are now everywhere. I wouldn't call it the new normal. There also could be a play that is going to force people, like for example, they're doing all these things, so all us drone pilots, okay, are now going to be forced to register every single one of our drones now. That could be a thing. They're just trying to do a publicity stunt to basically force us all to now do it. Basically, new legislation on drone flying, I'm guessing.
One, I gotta say for the people from New Jersey who are watching that, I'm gonna get some complaints from Phil Murphy and others about that comment saying New Jersey is a great place for Martians to visit.
Great place for, except for the taxes.
So
Yeah, okay, apparently. Yeah.
There's no apparently.
I would send him to Alabama, but our football team's not doing so well this year. But honestly, on this, and your point there about the Pentagon is a good one, because we heard from John Kirby today. He used to be at the Pentagon, and he said it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully.
Yep.
But there is such a heightened sense of public concern that what we are hearing, and this has been going on for days now, it's not making anyone feel any better about it.
Yeah, well, maybe there's a sensitivity or an awareness factor for lights in the sky, especially after a year and a half of congressional testimony of people declaring that we're being visited. So if this gets people to look up, I'll take it, right? As an astrophysicist, my sign off to my podcast is keep looking up. And if looking up means you're more aware of what's in the sky, and if that can be helpful to lawmakers, to the Pentagon, then let's keep doing it. In fact, there was a committee set up by NASA to help the Pentagon and lawmakers be a clearinghouse for people's observations of things they don't understand by using their smartphone, which has all manner of metadata related to how you use it. And so this would be an ideal case for everyone to whip out their smartphones, get data, and see what we can make of it. Friend or foe.
That's interesting because you say, keep looking up. It's good when people are involved and interested. And we have seen such a new kind of rise in engagement with science and people wanting to look things up, whether it's vaccines or what's happening in the skies. But my producer, Michael, made a good point that a lot of that, when we're seeing that, it's not just always renewed engagement. It's also being paired with a growing distrust of people like you who do what you do for a living, who back things up with data and facts and science. People don't always trust it if it doesn't confirm, their suspicions of something.
Yeah, that's the problem with the concept of truth and fact, guys. I mean, things can be absolutely factual, but if they don't specifically back up to anything that you've believed or your echo chamber believes, then in fact you're going to completely dismiss the facts. And that's unfortunate that we're in times like this, guys.
Don't always trust it if it doesn't confirm, their suspicions of something.
Yeah, this is a problem going forward. It's the loss of people's trust in experts. I mean, let's put it just out there in that way. And that's odd because if something happens to the plumbing in your house, are you going to say, I'll fix it? Or do you call an expert, right? Just ask yourself all the ways that you've engaged experts in your life. And then all of a sudden, you have access to the internet and you say, well, I'm not going to trust experts. I'm going to trust my own research. Could have ultimately lethal consequences if you're making decisions that affect your health and well-being.
Guys, and what's interesting about what he just stated is it kind of leads people to what's called the Dunning-Kruger effect, guys, right? Where they just proceed, where they look something up and they're just like, oh, I got it. It makes all the sense in the world. I no longer have to trust the person that has basically put their life into specifically learning something. I no longer need to trust that. No. I'm just going to now say I'm the expert in this, right? You're overcompensating on basically, some light knowledge that you don't that you just gained, that you think you have. Let's say you don't have the knowledge. You have some light knowledge, sure, but your theories basically have not been peer reviewed. So I'm not sure you actually, in fact, should not be trusting the experts, basically. But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly.
This is my lightsaber. Hey guys, you guys subscribe to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd, along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Oh, also, Mr. L. Boyd Discusses. Guys, check it out. And if you haven't heard it today, you're amazing.